Paul's letter to the Romans. It's one of the longest and most significant things ever written by the Paul's letter to the Romans. It's one of the longest and most significant things ever written by the man who was formerly known as Saul of Tarsus. He was a Jewish rabbi belonging to a group known as the Pharisees, and he was passionate and devout to the Torah of Moses and the traditions of Israel. And he saw Jesus and his followers as a threat. But then he had a radical encounter with the risen Jesus, who commissioned him as an apostle, like an official representative, to the world of non-Jewish people called Gentiles in the Bible. And so he started going by his Roman name, Paul, and he traveled all around the ancient Roman Empire, telling people about the risen King Jesus, and forming his followers then into these new communities called churches. And Paul would occasionally write letters to these new Jesus communities to help them foster their faith or answer questions, and the book of Romans is one of these. It was actually written quite late in his career. Now, we know from the book of Acts that the church in Rome had existed for some time, that it was made up of Jewish and non-Jewish followers of Jesus. But at one point, the Roman Emperor Claudius had expelled all of the Jewish people from Rome. And then about 5 years later, all of those Jews, including Jesus-following Jews, were allowed to return. And when they did, they found a church that had become very non-Jewish in custom and practice. And so this created lots of tension, so that by Paul's day, the Roman church was divided. People disagreed about how to follow Jesus. They were debating about whether non-Jewish Christians should celebrate the Sabbath or eat kosher or be circumcised. And so Paul wrote this letter to accomplish a few things. He wanted this divided church to become unified, and for a practical purpose. He was hoping that the Roman church could become a staging ground for his mission to go even further west, all the way to Spain. And so these circumstances are what motivated Paul to write out his fullest explanation of the gospel, the good news that he was announcing about Jesus' life, death, and resurrection. Now, the letter is designed to have 4 main movements, but it's unified as one long flowing exploration of the gospel. The gospel, Paul says, first of all, reveals God's righteousness, and then it also creates a new humanity, which fulfills God's promise to Israel. And so it's this gospel that's going to unify the church. In this video, we're just going to explore the ideas in chapters 1 through 4. So Paul opens by introducing himself as an apostle appointed by God to spread the gospel about Jesus, how he's the Messiah of Israel who was raised from the dead as the Son of God, King of the nations. And Jesus now calls all humanity to come under his loving rule. And Paul says this good news about King Jesus is, first of all, God's power to save people who trust in him, and second, that it reveals God's righteousness. Now, righteousness is a rich Old Testament word for Paul. It describes God's character, that he always does justice, what is right and what is good, but also that he is faithful and just to fulfill his promises. And Paul's saying that the story of Jesus shows how God has done both of these things. How? Well, he goes first into a long creative retelling of Genesis chapters 3 through 11. He shows how all the Gentile world, all the nations, have become trapped in the spiral of sin and selfishness. The human heart and mind are broken, Paul says. We've turned away from God to embrace idolatry, which means finding ultimate significance in created things and then giving ultimate allegiance to these things that are not God. This results in a distortion of our humanity and destructive behavior. And so what's left is a humanity that stands guilty as charged before a just and righteous God. To which the people of Israel might say, well, it's a good thing then that God chose our people out from among the nations. He saved us out of slavery in Egypt. He gave us the laws of the Torah, like the Sabbath and eating kosher and circumcision. And these all together show us how to live as God's holy people. But, Paul says, not so fast. He recalls the storyline of the Torah and of the rest of the Old Testament, which shows that Israel was just as sinful and idolatrous and morally broken as the rest of humanity. Israel is actually more guilty than the Gentiles, Paul says, because they have the Torah. They should know better. And so, Paul concludes, all humanity, Gentiles, Israelites, are hopelessly trapped and guilty before God. But that is not the final word. The good news about Jesus is God's response. Instead of holding humanity guilty, Jesus came as Israel's Messiah to die on behalf of all people as a sacrifice for sins. As our representative, Jesus took into himself all of the just consequences of the pain, the sin, and the death that we have caused in the world. And he overcame it all by his resurrection from the dead. It's his new resurrection life that he makes available to others. Jesus became what we are so that we might become what he is. And all of this, Paul says, is how God justifies those who trust or have faith in Jesus. Now, justification is another rich Old Testament term for Paul, and it's related to God's righteousness. It literally means to declare righteous. Because of what Jesus did on our behalf, we are given a new status before God. Instead of finding us guilty, God declares that a person is in a right relationship with him and is forgiven. Justification results in a new family. The person who trusts in Jesus is given a place among God's covenant people. Justification also results in a new future, which begins a journey of life transformation by God's grace. And so all of these things about justification are God's gift to those who through their faith are in Christ. And so this leads Paul in chapter 4 to explore the huge implications that all of this has for who can be a part of God's covenant family. He goes back to the story of Abraham in Genesis chapter 15. Before any of the laws of the Torah were given to Israel, Abraham was justified or declared righteous before God. How? Well, God promised that Abraham would become a father of a large multi-ethnic family that would receive God's blessing. But he and his wife Sarah, they were really old. They had never been able to have children. But nonetheless, Abraham had radical faith and trust in God's promise. And so God declared him to be righteous. And so Paul says, now Abraham has become the father of God's new covenant family, and it's spreading all around the world. It's made up of Jews and Gentiles who have the same kind of faith and trust in the one who fulfilled God's promise to Abraham, Jesus the Messiah. So let's pause and summarize Paul's main ideas here in chapters 1 through 4, because they're the foundation for understanding the rest of the letter. All humanity is hopelessly trapped in sin and needs to be rescued. That rescue, however, is not going to happen by people trying to obey the laws of the Torah. Rather, God's righteous character has moved him to rescue the world through Jesus' death and resurrection, so that he could create that multi-ethnic family of Abraham based on faith as his own new covenant people. And so Paul's going to go on to show how this new family is a part of something much, much bigger that calls them to a whole new way of life together. But it's all going to be rooted in these core ideas explored in chapters 1 through 4 of Paul's letter to the Romans. Ideas explored in chapters 1 through 4.
All right. So takeaway, my friend. Sorry? Right. And so what's happening in Rome before Paul sends his letter? They were kicked out, but they're coming back. And so now we got two separate groups. And then you have the Gentile Christians who are like living it free. And then you have the Jewish Christians who are actually like also the minority class. Because let's think about how tumultuous living will be if you're kicked out and then welcome back in. Let's imagine your whole family for 5 years, like having to leave everything and then try to bring it back. And this is before you have trucks. You only have like, pretty much these people are only poor enough to carry what they can hold on to. And so now they're welcome back. And you also find that when groups are getting the iron thumb on them, they become even more entrenched in their beliefs. And so these guys are like, whoa, like salvation is in Jesus, sure, but you got to keep the Sabbath. And you got to get circumcised. And you must eat kosher. Like, this is not okay. You guys are rebelling against the Torah. But then what does Paul want? Right, to be unified. And so he first just goes through this whole both. Okay, first Jesus is the righteousness of God. And so, but then he puts that all nations are trapped, even Israel. And it shows that it's because of Jesus that he then sucks in our guilty. And we have a new declaration over us. All right, friend, we can start. What's up? Well, the Vul? Small. Should make that a little bigger. I think that is. Make it so I can. There we go. I see. So you sent me a GIF. I'm guessing that's the leader of Israel. It's interesting if you, after seeing the video, and that's what you come out of. I could be wrong, though. I think that's him. Go ahead, educate me, my friend, if I'm wrong. All right. Huh. Oh, that's fun. I thought they'll destroy it. But Oh yeah, I can't open it because I don't have a key. Oh, keep one of these. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Houston.
Hi, Corey. Are you feeling better today?
I'm feeling. Yeah, the morning was was a little hard, but I'm feeling a lot better right now.
That's good.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. I got woken up by a phone call, so woo.
That's never fun. See if I might get this guy, treasure guy. Well, next allotment. Would you like to play Children of getting names mixed up all the time? Children of Morta? That little
If I'm able to.
sweet. Do it.
How's your Kingdom Hearts playthrough going so far?
After I finish Backpack Hero, I'll probably get back to Kingdom Hearts. Just right now, this is really vibing. I think I just vibe with rogues, you know?
Are you saying we need to get you into NetHack or something?
I don't even know what NetHack is.
Old. Like, not super old, but old.
Ancients of Days.
Never mind, it is actually really old.
You know what? I think I'm gonna try to do a. I'll share my game.
Older than thou, it shall be.
Oh. So I've been trying to do a Magic Plus defense build, but at this point, I might as well just do a full defense build, especially since I have the bashing shield.
Back to bashing you go. Bunk, bunk, bunk.
Yeah, I don't want you to run away, my piece of luck. Okay. It's fun how they give you the bashing shield, and doesn't count as a weapon, but for all intents and purposes, it might as well be called a weapon.
Huh.
All right. No more slimes from y'all. Ooh. Sell that since we're no longer. How big is that? Is that okay? That's 2. Here we're done with the triangle. We need that for townsies. Oh, the cat. Oh, nice. All right, we'll call that good. All right, vendor, I got a legendary item for you. Oh, you're not going to take anymore. All right, I'll have to be the next vendor. Oh, I see. That's cool. If I wasn't investing in a defense build. Wait, what do you have to roll? I've done the secret passage thing before, and I just didn't get anything from it, really.
Didn't get anything from it?
Yeah, so here, I'll use it. All right. I don't need the roof. Actually. Yeah. Do that. Yeah, it's just like it showed a secret passage, but there was nothing in that passage.
Oh, interesting.
Do that. I don't need the guitar. So I'll use it. Oh. It's like it won't even let me in it.
Odd.
Oh, I think I get it now. So let's say hypothetically there's a monster that I didn't want to fight.
Ah.
I thought it would be like extra loot or something. Oh, look, it finally showed. Never mind. It did reveal fancy things. Oh. All right, let's see how this works. So that is... So 2... That will only ever grow, though. All right. I'll try a semi-structure build. Yeah, it's looking like the brick builds is not working for me.
You, I don't think it works very well with that character, and unless you have minimal pockets in the first place, because it requires a lot of adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me just do a quick run, and not story mode, because story mode requires work to unlock things. If I wanted that, I'd just play Isaac. I'm joking, mostly.
Well, it's like I feel like it'd be a chore for you guys who have like played it thoroughly, and then now
Long ago.
yeah, now being told that you have to work to earn your stuff, work or keep kind of ordeal.
I mean, that's a bit good in other ways too. But it's just been a while also. To be fair, I haven't played in a while, so I'm probably gonna fail immediately anyways. You and your helmet collection.
I really wish they'll visually show that, you know?
Not even Risk of Rain does that.
At least
You
they
get one of each. You don't get. It doesn't show
Yeah,
you 20 odd glasses at the same
but
time.
still, even like just something. I hate this. I hate these relics.
What?
I mean, this is just useless for me.
Well, that's just you use a bajillion weapons.
This is
at once
this
for
is a
free.
pacifist build.
Oh.
The moment I use a weapon, I lose the run.
And what's your center one? Honestly, that's not that bad. There is really good rare and legendary items, yes, but also you can. Commons are pretty strong, also.
All right, why not? You can take that. I'll sell that. I was holding on to that for town. 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 No, oh, oh, oh. Don't want to get rid of that. Sure, why not? Town. Town. Sell. Both of those will be sell. Oh, I don't have enough. Darn it. I should have gotten rid of my curse. Ah!
Take the curse. Be one with the curses.
Why not? Oh, they disappear after a while.
Yeah, it's a choice. Which one do you go to first?
I get both.
Give me the big rock, yes. Can be used one time each turn. 2 slot. You there, put you there. Will at least always provide me 6 block. I could keep you, but I cannot. I need a better shield. Because the basic wooden shield is not very good. Yes, so let's go shieldless. Definitely a good idea. Is that a black bag that you're just having in a corner?
Huh?
You just have a bag in a corner.
It's this.
Ah, I see. I see why you just have it tucked away then. It has weaponry in it.
Also, like, I think I could use it for. I think I might just pop it later, but there we go.
Ah, yes, the cleaver of a curse. But what a curse it is, for it is not much of a curse, it's just a better cleaver.
Man, my armor is just through the roof right now. You need health healing stuff. You heal? No, you just had energy. And I got so much curse stuff. Oh.
7 and 4 damage.
The red hoodie sweep. I don't have a space for it.
You have a lot of gloves. You could probably finagle stuff around.
No, it's just more of I have to choose either this. Actually, I can finagle things around. You're right. So I could put it right here. Now the fun stuff. All right, let's see. Let's get rid of anything. Okay, anything. You need shield. Right, and then we'll start taking away thorns. I'll keep seed.
Ooh. Better sword. It just takes up some space. Which is a bit of a curse in this game. Something taking up space.
And these curses are starting to.
Be an issue.
Yep.
That's why you gotta take them.
It's fine though. I'm pretty good. And I feel like it pretty good. Actually, anything I could sell. Oh.
And at least 2 spots surrounded by cleavers. Another cleaver. I'm just throwing away all my turns taking cleavers. Oh no. I don't need that stuff. I need it. The brick can go. For long live the cleaver.
All hail, Master Cleaver.
Goodbye, glove. It was nice knowing you. I need you for free damage, but I don't need you.
Oh.
You're only good if I have you next to other weapons. So my gauntlets aren't helpful here either. But if I do you, that it gives me opportunities to remove that. I want to at least keep it. This is very awkward. Maybe move it all out. Fresh.
Go. All right, I'll take you now. Oh. I see. So it has to be clear from that full row. Oh, that's fun. It pulls item closer to where it's turned. So if I have it turned towards the outside of the pack, it becomes literally useless. I have enough to rock all that. Oh. Oh yeah, it was just flat out better.
Who needs keys? Ah,
What's up, Jaden? All right, Broheim, we're at time. All right, I'm gonna sell this game if you want to do some Children of the Morta. After we go through step, we're actually going to play a game of Uno if you also want to join for that, Houston.
Uno sounds fun.
All right, I'll be right back, my friends. Oh, I see. I closed my stream.